Hello, my friends, my buffalo friends to be exact. So, for today's reading, it appears I am addressing someone who is in buffalo energy. Grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. Wow, you are really well balanced. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise toward heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. When in balance, trusting, pure presence. When out of balance, restless, lacks gratitude. To bring it to balance, prayer, bhakti, which I don't remember the meaning of bhakti, but it's spelled Bakhti if you want to look it up. All right, so the next question, of course, after who are you, is this your reading? How will you know this is your reading? And I intended to pull 6 cards and got 7. Well, actually, I kind of got 8. As I was... Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. So, first we have money will come to you. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Unsuccessful plans. I'm assuming this means a platonic friendship. I would not say it has to be someone of the same sex. It could be. It probably is. But anyway, great good fortune. Right next to unsuccessful plans. Maybe you will discover that the plans that didn't work out were actually it's definitely for the best that they didn't work out. But then we have protection from a powerful friend and an increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. So it is also true that spiritual growth is a form of abundance and prosperity. Maybe that's something to consider. Now the final one, warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. I was a little puzzled by that because it doesn't seem to fit in with the rest of this, but another card popped out of another deck while I was trying to set up for this, and it is the 9 of Cups in reverse. This is a card of overindulgence. It could be alcohol, of course, because it's cups, but it could be an overindulgence in anything. The cups pictured here mostly have food items in them, I believe, so you could be overindulging in food. But there are many ways to overindulge, and of course, that could definitely be a problem. So maybe that's what the finger is warning you about. Or maybe you already know that, because this is supposed to be, how will you know this is your reading? So you may be well aware of the problem or problems with overindulgence for you, especially in connection with the things that have already been mentioned. You have 2 references to a friend, an important, powerful friend, which is nice, right here and right here. You have good luck. See, great good fortune, and money will be coming to you. And this, of course, is referring to material wealth or spiritual growth. And unsuccessful plans. I really think these are plans that you are fortunate did not work out. Oh, this is weird. I was going to use this deck for you, but the one that had the overindulging card. But it spit out one more card for you, the Knight of Wands in reverse, which this may be what you are overindulging in. The Knight of Wands in reverse is a player, or someone around you who is a player. But I really think it could be someone around you. It's not clear. But you will probably know. You don't need me to answer that particular question. So yeah, Knight of Wands in reverse. Someone who maybe they even have an addiction to sex. I don't know. Let's see if I can get some more information on that. The deck is closed, so I can't use that deck anymore for this reading. What do we need to know about this Knight of Wands in reverse? So the Knight of Wands is, of course, very passionate, but the Knight of Wands in reverse is not in control of their passions. So they would be selfish. They would be inconsiderate. All that matters is satisfying their own desires, urges, and then hopping on their horse and riding away. What else do we need to know? Feeling stuck and weighed down. A radical break from the past. So maybe this was you in the past. The Knight of Wands, of course, does not have to be male or female. Could be either one. Megaphone, go public. Increase visibility, major announcement. I guess you want to make public your change. Although it doesn't look like you wanted to make this change. It says forced change. Radical break from the past, deep changes. You may be going through or have gone through some real transformation. And you got the Yarn card. So a lot of stuff to unravel. A lot of evolving, a lot of growing. And you have a lot of still a lot of exploring going on. There is this desire for collaboration with someone. And as soon as I said that, that popped out. So, you are interested in a woman, collaborating with a woman. Your inner guidance system is online. It is guiding you now. That's a wonderful thing. Especially going from the overindulgence of the Knight of Wands in reverse. It may also be that you are developing some of the qualities that society likes to attribute to the feminine, which it's a completely false idea, but that's how it works. So the ideas about masculinity and femininity are arbitrary constructs created by society. They are not based in anything real. They are simply ideas that society has about what it means to be male and what it means to be female. And it's really important for all of us that we understand that these ideas are arbitrary and do not reflect reality. You have a fling, which would definitely be in line with your past as a player. Well, we have heart, love, desire. A desire for forgiveness and kindness. But we have the fox here, which is definitely not in alignment with that. Stealth, deceit, trap. Something's off. I would say that for sure. Oh, what's all this? Everyone wants a vibrant, abundant life. And there's growth potential, yes. Change, small beginnings, that's a good thing. Lift out of negativity. Lightness of being. If you want to lift out of the negativity of the fox. Ooh. All right. I'm going to need some more clarification on this box, and I'm going to go with a different deck. Oh, looks like we're going with the Panda Tarot today, since the crows don't want to talk to me. All right, tell me about this fox energy. Page of Wands in reverse. Report, impulse control. Oh, great. King of Swords. Five of Cups. This is interesting. Perhaps you're being overly logical. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. That's pretty much where you started out. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So that's, you know, life grinding away at you. You grinding away at some lessons. Learning. Developing yourself. Becoming a King of Swords. So the King of Swords, it has a lot of integrity. A lot of clarity. Can really practice discernment, think things through. And yet there's this Five of Cups, this very painful emotional lesson that you have to go through in order to get to the other side, to get to the good things in life, honestly. There is something better waiting for you, but you have to finish learning the emotional lesson. And I don't think you're making much progress in that. We have Judgment and the High Priestess in reverse. So you have been called. You know you've been called. But you don't want to hear it. You don't want to go down that path. Perhaps the High Priestess is very scary. Now, the High Priestess in reverse, sometimes I see it as a false High Priestess. And maybe that's why you're scared of going down this path, because of past experiences with someone who was a false High Priestess. But with the King of Swords here, I suspect that you are just a very logical person. Intellectual, mental, material. Intuition has not been a big part of your life. Spirituality has not been a big part of your life. And getting a call to become more spiritual is not welcome. So the work has not been done. So the Seven of Pentacles is about beginning the work. It's about the seedling stage, about the preparation stage, about planting those seeds that we saw on another card, actually, and waiting for them to sprout, waiting for them to appear, and then you tend the seeds, the plants, which takes time. But here is the crux of the problem, I believe. You will have to change your way of being in the world, and that is not welcome to you. Perhaps you like being this King of Swords. I mean, if you've gone from a Page of Wands to a King of Swords, that's actually a lot of work. And that's definitely something to celebrate, to honor about yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But the King of Swords is not everything. So in order to be a full and complete whole person, you need to integrate all of the cards, all of the court cards, all of the major arcana cards into yourself. Well, the major arcana, it's more like you experience them, but the archetypes are part of you, part of your life. And learning to work with them really changes things for you. So, the King of Swords is not a complete person, no more than any of the other court cards are complete. They are all aspects of a complete person. So a complete person, yes, they are able of clarity of thought, but they also can be emotional, they can be intuitive and passionate and grounded and practical and spiritual and intuitive. And there we go. I think we will leave it at the sword. We have, let's see, this would be 62. This is a pocket deck, so of course the book that goes with it is tiny. Makes it a little hard to read. The knife, the blade, the weapon. To use the sword, King of Swords, is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. The choice is made and all else falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift, and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth, when the cord we share with the mother is cut. This moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourself. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our life, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. Perhaps you have difficulty with making decisions. I mean, the King of Swords should be good at making decisions. Or maybe carrying out decisions. The Queen of Swords, I suspect, is better at making decisions. Anyway, when light, cutting through to what is essential. When dark, hasty, backstabbing, a dull and painful blade. Contemplate the Buddhist philosophy of the first and second arrow. Swing the sword once with precision and commitment. More than that will be painful for everyone involved. Boundary making, prioritizing, and clarifying are all gestures made possible by the sword. The sword is a metaphor for the pen and the brush, the artist's fierce and graceful tools. And this King of Swords does have a quill. So, I think there is a lack of true commitment to something on your part. You are being called to be decisive and swing the sword and do what needs to be done I don't know what that means for you, and I'm sure that means something slightly different for all of you. Whether it's an ending, which it most likely is with the Death card here. I think it's the ending of a way of life for you, honestly. So that can be challenging, to go from one way of living, one way of being. But what is the King of Swords telling you? It does look like you are being called to a turn to spirituality, to self-cultivation. And spirituality is part of self-cultivation. I can only assume that this is a radical change from your life, and that's why the sword has appeared, because it's like night and day, from one side to the other. It is your choice. It's your life. I wish you all the best.